a second. Let me see if I can unlock it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've got the Division II final for the WCLL about to kick off. The St. Mary's Gales are facing the UC Davis Aggies. For those of you that missed the playoff contest yesterday, UC Davis had a fairly uncontested victory over Humboldt, and the St. Mary's Gales upset the nationally ranked UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs. We'll see what we've got in store today. UC Davis pushing from the X, no slide comes, and a score from number 14, Nicholas Costa out of Dublin, California. Got a whistle at the X. Ball goes to the Aggies. For those of you that haven't watched the Aggies, they tend to keep one or two of their long poles on offense, as they are very effective weapons and will draw slides themselves and can shoot from the outside, both on settled offense and during man up. Missed pass, ball picked up by St. Mary's. Loose ball in front of the cage. We've got a pole on a pole here. Let's see if you can find an offensive outlet. Shot saved. Going the other way. Will Witcherson carried on to the offensive side of the field. Let's see if he stays. like UC Davis is going to stick with what's worked for them in the past, and they're going to keep 2 of their poles on offense, trying to feed Dominic Piombo on front of the crease. Didn't make it, but recovered by the Aggies. St. Mary's standing tall on defense. Shot clock winding down. Let's see if the Aggies can get something off here. Oh, check, loose ball, and picked up by the Gales. Dangerous pass to the middle of the field, but wrangled by Carter Ruiz. He had a fantastic game yesterday in the upset of UC Santa Cruz, tallying 4 points on 3 goals and 1 assist. Yard sale right in front of the crease. The Aggies pick up the ball. Clear up the field. Will Richardson carries into the offensive set. Shot and a miss. UC Davis retains possession. Looks like UC Davis is going to cycle more of their poles on the offensive side than they did yesterday. Yesterday it was mostly number 2 and number 10. Looks like Coach feels that he's comfortable having all of his guys out there. Frank Resiteris has really done a great job developing this team over the years and increasing the size of his roster, as has Coach Calvarisi of St. Mary's. Both teams looking to impress and hopefully make it to the national tournament, either through an at-large bid. Actually, correction. There is no automatic qualifier this year for Division I, so both teams will be hoping to impress with an at-large bid. Much more likely for UC Davis to get the at-large bid, as they are ranked and St. Mary's is not. But a win today, I think, would definitely put them in contention. Clearing opportunity again for St. Mary's. They seem to be relying extremely heavily on Carter Ruiz. Oh, Billy Marin tries to feed the crease. Unfortunately, it's picked off by the goalie. A missed opportunity for Davis. St. Mary's going to the cage. Oh, looks like Billy Marin lost it there. He had a nice day yesterday for St. Mary's, tallying 2 goals. Davis again looking to initiate. Will Johnson on the goal. He had a great day yesterday with 3 points, and he's starting off today just as strong. Score is Davis 2, St. Mary's 0. Got another face-off here. St. Mary's yesterday, despite struggling at the X, had a fantastic outing against UC Santa Cruz and was able to have a very, very impressive win against them. Let's see if their struggles at the X continue and if they'll be able to parlay their success from yesterday into a WCLL championship today. Hayden Libby on the drive, passes it to X and back to Will Johnson. Going up top to Dominic Piombo. Loose ball picked up by Davis. Liam Condon with the shot from the outside. And a nice pickup and garbage goal by Nicholas Lombardo. Timeout by St. Mary's. Score is 3-0. UC Davis. Folks, for those of you that have missed some of this weekend, we've had a couple of upsets. As I mentioned, St. Mary's taking down the number 16th ranked UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs. And today, top 20 ranked Santa Clara taking down number 9 Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Both teams looking to get in on that at-large bid. Santa Clara still does have the chance, being that Division I has the automatic qualifier this year. We shall find out more in early next week. Plays resume. Let's see if Coach Calvarisi gave his team a new plan of attack to try and close the deficit of 3-0 right now. Loose ball picked up by Dominic Piombo. Going back to the keeper in a strange move today, or possibly planned. UC Davis has switched out their goalie from yesterday, Martin Birmingham, and has Arthur Antonio playing in the cage for him. Oh, and a nice slide by St. Mary's to keep Liam Condon from scoring. Shot and backed up. UC Davis starting out on the wing. Hayden Libby initiating from up top. Slide comes with the shot, but too late. Goal unassisted for Hayden Libby. Off again, won by UC Davis, carrying down to the X, passing down the side to Will Johnson, who goes to X. This has really been the two most effective poles that they leave on offense. They have Liam Condon and Dominic Piombo playing in the offensive set. Both of them are a threat to score from the outside. Shot and backed up by UC Davis. Liam Condon driving to the cage. James Spargo with the shot and saved by Drummond Thompson. A little bit of a force there to the middle, recovered, and going back to UC Davis. Looks like UC Davis is going to run a pressure ride today. They had Arthur Antonio all the way up close to the midline. He was the one that was able to pick up that errant pass. Will Johnson pushing, shoots, and another save by Drummond Thompson. Nice clear by St. Mary's. Smart play to settle it up here as they did not have numbers. Billy Marin with the ball at X. He's got a short stick. Let's see if he wants to initiate. Nice feed and a shot by Eric Morayo. Turnover, and the ball will go back to UC Davis. Long pass up to the attack. If I'm Coach Calvarese, I'm going to be a little bit upset that my defenseman gave him that much room. Wow, and a drive from X and a backhanded scoop shot by number 9, Nicholas Lombardo. That's his second one of the game. He had 3 yesterday, so he is on a roll this weekend. St. Mary's still struggling at the face-off X. Let's see if they can pull one out and turn the tide of this game in their favor. Another win by Davis. Down to Will Johnson. Back to Lombardo. Shot from outside. And a nice goal by Alec Estopa out of Granite Hills in San Diego. That is his first goal of the tournament. Wesley Wheaton with the first win at the face-off X for the Gales. Oh, unfortunately, lost the ball there on a nice check by Davis. Oh, ball is still loose. Scooped up by John Paul Head and passed out to Kevin Atkinson. He is the initiator on this offense. Let's see if he can create something for his team. Mishandled pass on the wing there. Ball's going to go back to UC Davis. Dominic Piombo with a nice pickup. Folks, we have a flag down. We're going to have a 1-minute slash penalty on that. Didn't have a lot of man up yesterday in the Humboldt State UC Davis game. Davis is going to hold the ball for the next quarter, and we will see what they come out with. Will it be a 1-3-2, a 3-3, a 1-4? Stay tuned to see. Welcome back, folks. UC Davis has a man up right now, and if you're just tuning in, it has been all Aggies so far, with a score of 6-0 over St. Mary's. Coach Reciteritz using his standard offensive scheme and keeping a long pole on the man up. Shot by Harrison Baker outside and picked up by St. Mary's. Let's see if they can convert the clear. St. Mary's not able to convert. Let's see if UC Davis can take advantage of the penalty that has not yet expired. We're now all even. Let's see if UC Davis adjusts their attack. Loose ball picked up by St. Mary's. Got it. We have a flag down at the midfield going against UC Davis. Ill-advised feed to the middles. He still had a lot of time on that clock. Carter Ruiz, Billy Marin, Kevin Atkinson, and Wesley Wheaton really were the guys that were carrying them yesterday in the big upset win over UC Santa Cruz. Let's see if they can capitalize on this man-up opportunity and get themselves right back on track. Feed to the opposite side of the cage, shot, and a save. Arthur Antonio is determined not to let anything in. UC Davis is going to go ahead and let this penalty be killed. Now they're all even and they're going to start their settled offense. Push to the middle of the field, feed, a little bit of an errant pass there, but retained by UC Davis. Nicholas Costa tallied his first goal of the tournament today. Let's see if he can make it number 2. Feed to the backside and saved by Drummond Thompson. Davis is going to stick with running that pressure ride, blocking off all the open guys and forcing the goalie to carry the ball up the field. Thus far, it seems to be working. Coach Calvarisi is going to have to come up with something to combat that man-on-man ride, or pressure ride, as you want to call it. Got a loose ball, push ball is going to stay with UC Davis. Lombardo not able to handle the ball behind the cage. It's going to go back to St. Mary's. Let's see if they can have a little bit more success against this pressure ride. And a nice outlet pass going up to Billy Marin. Dunavant's pass is picked off, and UC Davis is going up the field. Both teams a little bit sloppy in the clearing game today. Something they're definitely going to need to improve upon if they're going to have success in nationals. Loose ball picked up by UC Davis. St. Mary's still having trouble with that pressure ride that Coach Resiteris has thrown out against the Gales. Number 17, Tanner Kiefer, initiating from up top. James Spargo with a shot and another save by Drummond Thompson. They are certainly getting their money's worth out of their keeper at St. Mary's today. St. Mary's with a successful clear. Carter Ruiz carrying it down to X. Let's see if he tries to invert and initiate from behind. Oh, and a nice take by Carter Ruiz, but just wide of the cage. Billy Marin again initiating from X. Carter Ruiz with another shot just wide again. And we've got a timeout on the field, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. St. Mary's is going to have the ball on offense here looking to put a dent in the 6-goal lead that Davis has built up thus far. Number 15, Kevin Atkinson, starts with the ball, passing off to Billy Marin. These two really are the studs on this offense, along with Carter Ruiz. They're going to need something for some of these guys to make something happen for them. Ruiz pushing from up shot. And we've got a shot and a miss, but we've got a flag down. Looks like Dominic Piombo from UC Davis will be heading to the box. Billy Marin starting with the ball on the wing, passing up top to Kevin Atkinson, feeding inside. Shot is wide. Marin pushing from X, not sure why he's going one-on-one right now when they have a man advantage above the cage. Shot, dive, flag, and a goal. St. Mary's is on the board, folks. Fantastic athletic play from Billy Marin, his first of the day and third of the tournament. Score is 6-1 Aggies. St. Mary's trying to claw their way back from this early deficit. Face-off. St. Mary's is going to need to win this one and get another tally to really get the momentum going in their favor. Dominic Piombo with the ground ball. Lombardo with the ball at X. Davis is going to sub and get their offensive players onto the field right now. Lombardo again at X, looking to feed. Hayden Lippy draws the double, moves it quickly. Shot and deflected. Davis is going to maintain possession. Oh, feed to the middle, mishandled and picked up by St. Mary's. Let's see if they can push it up the field before Davis can put on their pressure ride. And a nice check on Wheatley, who loses the ball and his stick. Pass to the middle, shot, and another save by Drummond. Eric Mariah with an ill-advised pass. Ball goes back to UC Davis. Ball's back to Lombardo at X. UC Davis has some good spacing on offense here. And looks to be, today, they're rotating all of their long poles, or at least those that get significant playing time, onto the offensive side of the field, as opposed to relying exclusively on Piombo and Condon, as they did yesterday. Nice defense, denying the high side. High angle shot. Let's see if he can stick with it. Oh, but he rolls back in. And a shot and a goal by number 9, Nicholas Lombardo. That's his 3rd of the day and 6th point of the tournament this weekend.
Let me know when you're done downloading it. I want to stop that.
Looks like we're going to have an illegal procedure, and Wheatley picks up the ball. That's a fortunate turn of events for St. Mary's. Davis is doubling. Ball is down and picked up by UC Davis. Dominic Piombo has been all over the field today. Shot and a save, but we have a flag down. UC Davis is going to have another man up. UC Davis is going to start out again with a long pull on man up. Look for Liam Condon to capitalize. He had 2 goals yesterday in the big win over Humboldt State. Spargo with an ill-advised errant pass. Ball's going to go back to St. Mary's. I would assume right now that UC Davis is going to lock off man-to-man and make it very difficult for St. Mary's to clear the ball. Drummond walks it up, looking for an open man. Finds number 4, Billy Marin from the attack, coming over to help out his team clear the ball. And we have a flag down. We're going to have a push with possession on UC Davis. A fortunate turn of events for St. Mary's. Folks, the score is 7-1, and St. Mary's is really looking to get something going in their favor, any kind of momentum to turn the tide of this game thus far. So we're going to be even for 15 seconds here. If I was the Gales, I would hold on to this ball until they have the man advantage and then get into their man upset. Their man up, ball in the hands of Atkinson. Shot and a save. Antonio has not been tested too much today, but he is showing no signs of falling asleep in the cage. Now all even. Looks like St. Mary's was not able to capitalize on that man-up advantage, but they were able to maintain possession. Officials timeout. Looks like we're having some sort of technical difficulties on the field. Looks like there was some confusion, and UC Davis was released early by the box. They're not going to be penalized, but St. Mary's is going to have 10 seconds to try and capitalize on this man-up opportunity. Ball's up top with Atkinson. Passes it over to Carter. And we're all even again, folks. And a shot and another save. Antonio standing strong in the cage. Ball on the wing with Liam Condon. As mentioned before, he had 2 goals yesterday and is always a threat on that offensive side of the field. Lombardo with the ball at X. Looks like they're going to get it around and get their substitutions for offense in. Alec Estopa with the drive. He's got 1 already today. Up to Piombo. Back to Estopa. Loose ball. Dominic Piombo with the pickup. He really is all over the field this weekend. Back to Lombardo at X. It seems like that's where he's going to be the rest of the night. He really does like to initiate from the X on the offensive side. And we've got a turnover. Ball goes back to St. Mary's. A little bit of a forced pass there to Ruiz. We've got to push. The ball is going to go back to UC Davis. After an initial onslaught by Davis and a 6-0 lead, the Gales seem to have gained some sort of composure here and have held it to a 1-goal game, or a 1-1 game since the initial 6-0 turnoff from St. Mary's. We've got a timeout, folks, and we will catch you back in just 1 minute. Welcome back, folks. UC Davis with the ball on the offensive end. Looks like they're going with all short sticks now, which is not extremely common for Davis. Coach Retzeteris likes to mix it up and use some of those sharp-shooting long poles on a lot of offensive sets. is winding down here. Let's see if Davis can get a shot off. Looks like Davis was confused and thought that was a countdown on the shot clock. At the end of the half, the score is 7-1, UC Davis over St. Mary's. We'll be back in just 1 minute.
Let's put an ad in the Daily Cal. The ad read, 2 lacrosse players looking for a third to throw the ball. My phone rang off the hook. Within a week, we had 30 lacrosse players, including a goalie with complete goalie regalia, ready to go.
The senior leadership on the team from last year was just unbelievable. Just guys who are absolute studs as athletes, but then also as people.
Last season was a culmination of a lot of different aspects of my Cal lacrosse experience. Coming in as a freshman, having a coaching change, and then going through the growing pains that come with having a new coach. And then finally, during a senior season, seeing the payoff from all of the hard work.
People ask me this question all the time. What did last season feel like? How did it end? All of that. And I just say surreal, because advancing through the quarterfinals onto the semifinals was something truly special.
You could just tell there was a fire in the guys that I hadn't been a part of on a team in quite a while. You know, I think one of the highlights of that trip was the University of Colorado game. I mean, just watching guys claw tooth and nail to come away with the win was inspiring. Like, I ran on the field with the guys and then realized for like a second later, like, I'm a coach. I can't go jump in the dog pile.
It was just an amazing experience, and it's almost like we put 3 years, up to 4 years of Cal lacrosse experience into 1 week, and we just left it all out there.
You know, after we beat Colorado in overtime, just sitting in the hotel room, being in absolute shock about what happened and thinking, wow, we still get another game to play.
The season was amazing. Like, I can't deny that. When you tell people that you ended number 3 in the country, people are like, their jaws drop. Like, oh, that's what you do after work?
I also cannot say enough about Coach Webster and the job that he's done in just a short amount of time here at the school and running the program. Just from an administrative standpoint, from a recruiting standpoint, from an organization standpoint, he's really made Cal a legitimate contender every year, and that is going to be a consistent fact going forward.
My coaching experience so far with Coach Webster and the rest of the staff has been amazing. I really have developed a fantastic connection with Webb and with Coach Paul Jepson, Ruth, Dino, and Coach Kevin Kelly, who was my goalie coach when I was a senior.
The Hall of Fame event, reflecting on it as a player, it really gave me some great perspective about what Cal lacrosse was. To go to an event like that and see all those alumni and all their families and have this very organized, special, emotional, and reflective experience where everyone who's gone through the program is together under one roof really gives you a feeling of being a part of something greater than just your 4 years, but something that's been around for 50 years.
My first Hall of Fame event, I don't think I completely understood how important and how valuable having these alumni was. Looking back now as an alumni, it's really something special, and I think it's not something that a large percentage of the teams across the country can boast about, and it's something special to Cal lacrosse.
So the Hall of Fame this year kind of holds certain significance because I never got to see him play, but Mario Anias sold me my first lacrosse stick. I don't think he'd remember that. I was just like a 7th grade little towhead, but he sold me my first stick in his shop at the California Lacrosse Company. I'm going to be very excited to see him step on stage and be enshrined in the California Hall of Fame.
You saw someone like Mario, who was a badass on the field. He played with this intensity and this chip on his shoulder that he wasn't going to back down from anybody, and he was going to try to whip the living daylights of anybody across from him. And it didn't matter if you were from Chapman and Chico State or if you were from Princeton and Duke.
Dick Graham was flat out the greatest lacrosse player I've been privileged to play with. I played with Dick, fortunately, in 72, 73, and 74 for Cal Lacrosse. He dominated. He had a left hand that was unstoppable, pinpoint accuracy on his shooting in the corners, and a pinpoint passer. Dick would blow by his man quickly. My man would drop off. I'd get a nice feed from Dick and pound it in. Just had fun. I'm happy to support him into the Hall of Fame of Cal Lacrosse.
I did play with Mike Sterrett as a young freshman. Mike was a defenseman. Back in the era, Mike was one of the guys who'd carry a big, thick, heavy piece of oak, and he knew how to wield it quite well. It was a thing to see. He was strong, and he was able to knock people down. It was nice to have someone like that in front of you when you're standing in the goal. He was definitely the leader on the field. And Mike, while a leader, was also willing to have a good time. This is when we could still bring kegs onto the field after the games. And after a hard-fought battle with our opponents, we'd tip a few beers with him afterwards.
Welcome back, folks. Start of the second half about to kick off. St. Mary's trailing UC Davis 7-1 right now. You've got Weston Wheatley at the face-off X for St. Mary's going against number 15, David Uloa. Ball picked up by UC Davis. Pass down to X to Nicholas Lombardo. He is a fixture down there at the X, always looking to create for himself and for his teammates from that position on the field. Johnson pushing from the wing up to Piombo. Spargo looking to initiate again against the long pole. Beats his man. Nothing there. Goes through X. And a pass to Condon and a shot deflected again by Thompson. He's having a great game today. Lombardo with the drive to the cage along GLE, but steps in the crease. Turnover. Ball goes to St. Mary's. Nice defense to deny that high side angle. Ruiz on the clear. Carries the ball down the wing. Looks like he's going to pass it back up top. St. Mary's using Ruiz behind the cage, looking to initiate, draws the slide. He's got two poles on him. Looks to move it back up to Marin. Marin is listed as an attackman, but he seems to play all over the field, whether it be off the wing or up top, which is traditionally the place for a midfielder. St. Mary's saves the ball, but passes it right back up to UC Davis. Piombo picks it up over to Colton, back up to Piombo. Looks like Piombo's going to try and drive to the cage. Nope, passes it off to X, back to Lombardo. He's pushing hard, turns the corner, shot, and a save by Thompson. Folks, don't let the 7-1 score fool you. Thompson has been a stud in the cage today for the Gales. Oh, an errant pass. Looks like it's going to go back to UC Davis. Back to Lombardo, looking to feed, passing up top. Max Myham driving, draws the slide, moves it back to Lombardo. Back up top, shot by Condon. Off cage, but he is a dangerous one up there. He had two yesterday. We've got a moving pick. Ball is going to go back to St. Mary's. Morayo driving up the side, see if he can get the ball safely into his offensive end of the field. Johnson accosting him, trying to deny that clear. Oh, and it looks like it was successful. Johnson now has the ball, driving up the field, being played hard by Carter. Oh, and a behind the back kick save by Thompson. St. Mary's, Marin driving, passes to the middle. Ill-advised, they did not have numbers there. Would have been best to just settle up. Oh, and a hard hit. Wheatley has really been something of a utility man for St. Mary's today and the rest of the tournament. Taking face-offs, clearing the ball, and playing offense and defense. A little bit of a lost opportunity there for St. Mary's. If they're going to get back in this game, they've really got to capitalize on UC Davis's mistakes. Giamba with a nice pass up to the attack. Lombardo with the ball at the X, and Thompson on the wing. Excuse me, folks, that was not Thompson, that was Johnson. He is wearing number 26 today, although his regular season number is 29. Hayden Libby with the ball up top, passes it down to the wing. Lombardo with the ball, goes above cage, shoots and scores. Thompson was not able to stop that one. That is the fourth goal today from Nicholas Lombardo. That gives him 7 points on the weekend thus far. Got Wheatley at the face-off, X, and Head on the wing here. And another face-off win by UC Davis. Number 15, Aloe, has been very successful. Oh, and a turnover. Wasn't able to hold on to the ball. And that's Wheatley, the utility man from St. Mary's, coming up with the rock and taking it down to his offense. Carter with the ball on the wing right now. And when I say Carter, that is Carter Ruiz. He is probably the biggest threat from the midfield for the St. Mary's Gales. Tallied 4 points yesterday, but has yet to find the back of the net or the scorebook today. And here's Kevin Atkinson. He really is a fireworks starter for the Gales. Yet to find the back of the net today, but he's got a short stick. Let's see what happens. Ball's back with Billy Marin. You'll find him behind the cage and above. Although he's listed as an attackman, he will move all over the field to wherever he feels he can be a bigger threat. Back over to Ruiz up top. He's got the long pole, but he's going to force the issue. Feet up top, shot, and a save. Antonio is just determined not to let the Gales back into this game. Oh, and an errant pass picked up by number 2, Ambrosia. Ball's back in the hands of Atkinson. He's got a shorty. If I'm Coach Calvarisi, I'd try and take him behind the cage, see if he can create something. Low angle shot, wide of the cage, backed up by Marin. Marin starts with the ball at the wing. He's got a long pole on him. Looks like UC Davis is going to shut off Atkinson with the short stick and just deny him the ball. Ball's back up top with Ruiz. He's got a long pole, but he is not scared to drive against one of those. Shot from the outside, not backed up by St. Mary's. Antonio is out there and will get possession for UC Davis. Shot by number 11, Libby. A little bit wide. He's got one on the day, but he's hungry to get another one. Lombardo at the X. They slide to him. Shot is wide. If they're going to have success against him driving at X, they're going to have to cut off that high angle drive. Got Dunavant, the midfielder, in the middle of the field, number 7. He needs to work back and try and find himself open to help out his long poles. Ball's off Davis, going to St. Mary's. We've got a failure to advance, folks. The ball is going to go back to UC Davis. For those of you unfamiliar with the new NCAA rules that were implemented this year, there's an 80-second shot clock, and you have 20 seconds to get it over the midfield. After that 20 seconds has passed, if you are over the midfield, you cannot go back onto your defensive side of the field. However, if you cross the midfield within 20 seconds, you can go back to your defensive side as long as you cross back again before that 20 seconds has expired. Number 14, Costa, with a nice drive, but shot is wide. Backed up by UC Davis. Baker initiating from the wing, getting hammered. Ball is loose and picked up by Thompson. Another force clear, but picked up by Billy Marin. Oh, and another turnover going back to UC Davis. And that one was in the head, folks. I could hear it up here in the box. Flag down, UC Davis will have a man up. Another nice save by Thompson. He has to have totaled over a dozen thus far in this game. Let's see if he can hold off the UC Davis Aggies attack and get his team a chance to get their second tally of the day. UC Davis on the man up, starting out in a 3-3 set. John Ambrosia, the long stick, playing up top in the man up, or in the man down, pushing way out. Shot by number 12, Gestapo. He's got one today, but that one did not find the back of the net, wide to the right. Lombardo back at X, passes it over to Johnson. Shot from the wing, and the defenseman just ate that one up. Sichi from St. Mary's, not afraid to get a little dirty to keep the ball from getting in the back of the net. Another shot and another save by Thompson. Man up for UC Davis, winding down. We are now all even. Great stop. Oh, now we've got Lombardo wide open and another save by Thompson. He is really keeping them in this game. Coach Resiteritz from UC Davis, utilizing that pressure ride, is really giving St. Mary's a hard time today. UC Davis with another successful clear, pushing down the wing. Lombardo again in his usual spot, trying to draw a slide and create some offense from X. Another save by Thompson. Folks, I am looking at determination. He has got long hair and very, very brightly colored leggings on right now. St. Mary's able to settle the ball. Billy Marin on the wing waiting for his offensive personnel to get on the field. And a nice lift check on Atkinson behind the cage. Ball goes back to UC Davis. Will Richardson, the long pole, settling in on offense, and it looks like he's going to go back and let another player come in and take care when he goes back to the defensive side of the field. Ball's up top with Libby, driving down the wing. Shot clock winding to a close. Another save by Thompson. Folks, this is just an unbelievable performance by a goalie. Without Thompson in the cage right now, this could very easily be an 18-1 game. As it stands, it is 8-1. UC Davis on top of St. Mary's. We'll be back in just 1 minute. Welcome back, folks. The score is 8-1 UC Davis Aggies over the St. Mary's College Gales. For those of you just turning in, Drummond Thompson, number 33, the goalie for St. Mary's, is just standing on his head, keeping St. Mary's in this fight for the Division II WCLL Championship. And another face-off win for UC Davis. Will Johnson on the wing. Looks like the coach is calling for it. Ball's up top. They're going to need to slide quickly to Kiefer Tanner. He is a big boy out there. Picked up by Piongo. Back again to Lombardo at X. Piombo with the ball again. Back over to Condon. Over to Kiefer. And back to Lombardo. Looks like UC Davis is trying to take their time and really wait for a good opportunity and sit on that 8-1 lead right now. Kiefer's going to go right to the cage. Shot clock about to expire. Shot wide. Got just a few seconds left on this shot clock. They're just going to roll it to the corner and get back in their set ride. St. Mary's midfielders are really going to have to work to get back to the ball. They want to be successful in their clearing game. And we've got an offsides by UC Davis. Ball's going to go back to St. Mary's. Not sure why he would force that shot right there. And back to Lombardo in his usual spot behind the cage at X. Baker with the ball on the wing, back up to Kiefer. And we've got Johnson on the wing, looking to create. He's got a short stick on him. Draws a slide and moves it. Out to the wing for Piongo, shot and wide. Johnson again with the ball on the wing. They were trying to shut him off and deny him the ball earlier in the game, but it looks like St. Mary's is content to just have him play a short stick one-on-one. Quick slide, ball back to X to Lombardo. Over to Kiefer, can't handle the pass. We've got a crease violation. Ball's going to go back to St. Mary's. 11:45 on the clock, fourth quarter. UC Davis up 8-1. Another unsuccessful clear by St. Mary's. UC Davis will again regain possession. Costa with a nice clear, passes it over to the wing. Lombardo driving, draws the slide, ball's down, nice check. And we're gonna have a loose ball hold on St. Mary's. Ball's gonna go back to UC Davis. Lombardo passing up top to Condon. He draws the slide as a long pole. Moves it to the wing and back to Lombardo at X. Driving to the middle, slide, loose ball. Thompson able to corral that one, and they will look to get a successful clear and try and tally that second goal today. Nice look to the middle of the field. Dunavant draws the slide and a flag. St. Mary's is going to be man up. Folks, we'd like to thank Karen Schubert, Rancho Cotate High School, and the Cotate Rohnert Park School District for allowing us to host the 2019 WCLL Division I and Division II Final Four for the second year in a row. It's a fantastic venue. St. Mary's with the man up, starting with the ball on the wing and a 3-3 set. Pass to the backside, goes in, but we've got a crease violation going back to Davis. And it looks like Davis got a little over anxious on that one. Referees are going to call it back. UC Davis on the clear. Condon loses the ball, picked up by St. Mary's. Ruiz passes over to Billy Marin, tries to feed the backside to Atkinson, just wide. Oh, looks like it was tipped, folks. Ball's going to stay with St. Mary's. Oh, and a feed right to the middle of the crease. Atkinson for another assist. St. Mary's tallies their second goal of the game. Score is 8-2 UC Davis right now. Let's see if St. Mary's can win this faceoff. Wheatley has been fighting for his life there at the faceoff X, doing everything he can to get his team some extra possessions and make up this 6-goal differential. Wheatley with the ball in the middle of the field, passes it off to Billy Marin. Ruiz carrying the ball back to X, passes it over to Atkinson. Up back top to Marin. Marin feeds Atkinson, going to the cage, shot and a save, and he gets his own rebound and scores. And folks, it looks like they're going to call him in the crease on that. Not sure what they're calling right now, some sort of penalty. And ball's going to go back to UC Davis. Johnson with the ball back on the wing, passing it to Lombardo at X. Lombardo driving hard. His man falls down and loses his stick, but he pulls it back out.
If I sell it, I'll give you 20%.
Lombardo carries over to the wing. He's got a short stick on him. Let's see if he tries to initiate. Ruiz has been trapped on defense here. Pass to the wing, shot by Costa, wide and scooped up by Thompson. Ruiz with the ball, trying to find some help and clear the ball. Wow, and a nice wrap check. For those of you unfamiliar to lacrosse, that is called a yard sale. When you get checked and your stick goes one way and you go the other way, that's what they call a yard sale. UC Davis again settling into their offense. And we've got a drive from up top. Number 11, Libby, draws the slide, moves it. Costa now feeds it down the side to Baker. And again to Lombardo, back at X. He is really comfortable back there. Turns the corner, shot, wide and backed up by Thompson. St. Mary's carries the ball into the offensive end. Wheatley runs into some trouble and wisely pulls it out. Dunovit saves the ball from going back over the midfield line, and it's with Billy Marin on the side right now. We've got a timeout, St. Mary's. Score is 8-2, UC Davis. Welcome back, folks. 5:57 left in the fourth quarter. Score is still 8-2, UC Davis over St. Mary's. Looks like Coach Calvarisi is trying to run some sort of isolation here, create some offense with their stalwart, Kevin Atkinson from X. And a nice lift by Piombo. This young man is a terror on the offensive and defensive side of the field, having a great tournament weekend. And a clear up to McCormick, who carries it down and passes it off to Baker on the wing. Ball goes back to Johnson and X and over to Lombardo on the wing. Spargo with the ball on the left side wing high, taking it down. Looks like he might try and initiate here on Ruiz. Tries to roll to the top side. Ruiz playing good defense, gives up the inside roll though. And a nice slide to keep him from going to the cage. Feed to the backside. And Spargo with the goal, with a nice assist from Nicholas Costa. Score is now 9-2. UC Davis with 4:44 left in the fourth quarter. Lucas Salazar taking the face-off for the Gales, giving Wheatley a break. Let's see if he can change the fortunes of the Gale at the face-off X. And we've got a hold, even though it was picked up by Piombo, and the ball is going to go to St. Mary's. Libby picks up the ball and hands it off to Marin. And a shot wide by Marin, but backed up by St. Mary's. Atkinson with the ball at X. He's got a short stick on him. Draws a quick slide, moves it to the wing. Wheatley, unfortunately, not able to handle that one. Ball is up top with the long pole, Piombo. Baker has the ball on the wing and will pass it down to Lombardo at X. Back over to Johnson on the wing. And back up top to the big feller, Tanner Kiefer. Let's see if he tries to initiate here. Tanner going against Ruiz from the wing here. A nice defense by Ruiz, forcing the pass. Lombardo had a step, but shot was just a little high, backed up by St. Mary's. Ruiz carrying the ball upfield. This gentleman really does do everything for his team. Offensively, defensively, clearing, man up. And a nice clear down to Atkinson. They've got a long pole on him now. And a little bit of an unfortunate pass. Wheatley wasn't quite able to handle it, but it was a little bit low. Davis in the transition. Lombardo driving to the cage, shot and goal. That is the 5th goal today for Nicholas Lombardo and his 8th point this weekend. Score is now 10-2, UC Davis with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Folks, I don't like to call a game before it's over, but it looks like UC Davis will be making their 2nd consecutive trip to the Division II MCLA National Tournament and representing the WCLL yet again. Davis with another faceoff win. They've got numbers. Passes up top to Lombardo. Shot and another save by Thompson. UC Davis is going to take its time, get their offensive personnel on the field as they are in no rush with very little time left and a very cushy 8-point goal lead. Shot from the wing by Johnson outside the cage. We've got a timeout, UC Davis. UC Davis going to take the ball in the corner behind the cage. Again with Dominic Piombo on the offensive set. Looks like UC Davis is really going to take their time and use up as much of this 80-second shot clock as they can. UC Davis taking their time and allowing that shot clock to expire. St. Mary's with the ball. Let's see if they can put one more last goal in before the end of this season. And a nice check by Dominic Piombo, number 2. Feeds over the wing to Nicholas Lombardo. Over to Baker. Shot and a goal. That is the first goal of the tournament for Baker. And the 6th point today for Lombardo. We've got 23 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Score is 11-2, UC Davis. Under 20 seconds left. UC Davis and St. Mary's scrapping for the last opportunity in this game to put another point on the board. Picked up by Wheatley. Under 10 left. 5 left. He's going to try and go to the cage. And that will be it. UC Davis claims its first ever Division II WCLL title. Congratulations to the Aggies and Coach Resetarits. Thanks again to Rancho Cotate High School, the Cotate Rohnert Park School District, and Karen Schubert for making all of this possible, along with the Rancho Cotate Lacrosse Booster Club and coaching staff. This is Aaron Myers from the WCLL signing off and hoping that you all tune in tomorrow for the WCLL Division I Championship game between Santa Clara and the Cal Bears.